Well, hi, and welcome to Father, Son, and Skillet. Today we've broken out the stock pot and we're going to make marinara and hope Vincenzo doesn't get too upset with us. So let's go over the ingredients. We start with some onion and celery and carrot. We cook with olive oil, we season with basil, there's tomatoes, water, and salt and pepper, and that's all the ingredients in this. So let's start cooking. Okay, we've got the pan over medium-low heat. We'll add a generous amount of olive oil, probably about a quarter cup or slightly more. So for a single batch of this, a tablespoon would probably be good. As far when that gets to shimmering, which is just about there, we add our mirepoix, our sofrito. Some salt to draw some moisture out of the vegetables and help them soften faster. And then we just let those sweat over this low heat with the olive oil and the salt, and we'll come back. Okay, you'll want to stir this around once in a while. Keep it on that low sizzle.
You can see we're starting to get some water coming out.
That's what we're looking for. And we've let these simmer for a while. You see that there's less water in the bottom of the pan, and if you can get a look at the onions, they're starting to be translucent, or as we say, clear. You don't need to get any color on them, just get them nice and soft. So it's almost time to add the tomatoes. Now, before we add the tomatoes, we'll put in some dried basil. This is going to be close to half a cup, really, of dried basil. So for each can of tomatoes, you'd probably want to put about 2 tablespoons of dried basil in. It's really the only herbaceous flavor that's in this, so it'll be very tasty. The steam that's hitting the camera smells really good. All right, now that those herbs are in and thoroughly mixed and bloomed, we'll go on with the tomatoes. 3 cans of tomatoes. We're using a petite diced tomato. Stir those in. Now, since we hate to waste any tomatoey goodness, we're going to rinse out these cans with a little water. And we'll add the rest of that 2 cups or so of water. Give this a healthy dose of salt and pepper. Give it one more stir. Then bring the heat up and bring it to a boil. Now that we're pretty much up to a boil, I'll give it one more stir. I'll turn the heat down and bang a lid on this and let it simmer for about an hour. So let's take a look at it after about an hour of simmering. It looks very nice. All the vegetables are nice and soft, and the flavors have started to meld very nicely. So the next step in this process is this little stick blender. Looks about right. Now, give it a stir, make sure we didn't leave any major lumps in there. We'll be back in a minute to test it for spices, adjust our seasoning. So we've adjusted the seasoning a little, but we've decided that the whole mixture is a little bit watery still, so we'll just let that simmer for a little longer and tighten up some, and then we'll do a final adjustment on the seasonings. So we've made our marinara. We crumbled up some Italian sausage and browned it in a pan. We'll take some of that marinara sauce, about 2 cups, and cook it together with the Italian sausage for a little bit to enrich everything. We cooked some farfalle, butterfly pasta. We'll get that in there after it's fully cooked. If it needs a little more liquid, we'll add that, but doing the pasta this way, it generally doesn't. And that's marinara sauce and how we serve it here at Father, Son, and Skillet. Thanks for joining us for this episode. If you like what you see, be sure and click like. Share this video with someone who needs to see it, and of course, subscribe and make sure you ring that bell.